One on the ball, Jaden. One on the ball. Johnny, hey, Johnny, guys, hey. Jaden, right. Jaden, right! You go away! One more, stop, good. Right! Here. Stop!
Well, you have been watching the first 17 minutes of the Indy 11 of the Birmingham Legion. You have not provided the soundtrack. Hopefully, myself, Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder are better than the announcers you've heard in your own head for the last 16 and a half minutes. Thank you for joining us on Wish TV and ESPN Plus, and we apologize that some unfortunate technical gremlins got to us right before the beginning of the broadcast. Clearly, you have not missed a goal. You have seen end-to-end action. Brad, your thoughts on the part of this match before we began commentary?
Interesting that Birmingham is playing a little bit different than they were a few weeks ago, and that they've dropped James and Dean back as to outside wing backs, but they're going forward every time. It's almost with Kavita and Cronolli, they're just playing with two backs through the run of play. It is a Birmingham team that will not have their leading scorer, at least in the starting 11. He is available for selection off the bench, that being Nico Brett. He has scored 8 of their 11 goals so far on the season. It is a Birmingham team that has added a key piece since the last time we saw them 3 weeks ago, back on July 3rd. Thomas Van Kaziel, who we saw play the last 3 years with Pittsburgh, had relocated to San Diego. He was acquired 5 days after the Indy 11 played Birmingham. What's the difference you've seen him make so far in this match? One of the differences is positionally. He's playing as a holding midfielder with the Siadu in there. They're playing with a front screen in front of Kavita and Cronolli, and it's interesting because they're both getting forward very well. Just to catch you up on kind of how things stand for each of these two teams, this is the 3rd time of 4 meetings that they will play this year. Both teams have won on the opposition's home field by a goal to nil. The Indy 11 won the opening match of the season, May 1st at BBVA Field in Birmingham, with Manuel Arteaga getting the only goal of that match. When these two got together here 3 weeks ago, it was a penalty in the 7th minute. Carled against Carl Wilmette against J.J. Williams. Nico Brett would score, and Birmingham would maintain that 1-0 lead. The Legion come in 2nd in terms of the Central Division at 22 points, regardless of how business concludes tonight. Lou City will have the top spot in the Central Division heading into next weekend. Indy is currently outside of a playoff position by all of a point. Oklahoma City Energy on 17 points, currently in 4th. The Indy 11 currently in 5th with 16 points. Simply put, the Indy 11 is trying to get the full 3. You got to go back to Father's Day, June 20th, the last time the Indy 11 got a victory. Yeah, it's so critical to get the 3 points tonight, and not just to keep good standing in the table, but you got to win. You haven't won in a month, and you got to win here at the mic. Just 6 points have been pulled from matches at the mic so far this season, including last week's 1-1 draw against Memphis 901. This is Alex Cronolli, former member of the Indy 11. Plays it forward to Jared Cervania. This is Johnny Dean, who was trying to track down the ball, but when he plays with his hands, it kind of tells you that one's going to go across the byline. And Eric Dick with the restart here for the Indy 11. Tonight's match presented in part by Bet Rivers, the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11. Bet with a winner. And yes, this is part of the story for the Indy 11 tonight. There you see the Carmel native and Butler University graduate. Ever since Jordan Farr suffered a busted wrist against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds back on June 15th, Eric was then quickly acquired on a short-term loan from the Columbus Crew. This is the 2nd time we have seen him in action. He played at Atlanta United 2 back on July 7th, picked up 7 saves in that match. Again, at some point soon when Jordan Farr returns, Eric's going to get the opportunity to go back to play at the MLS level, at least be a part of the roster for the Columbus Crew. What a chance for him to play in front of friends and family here tonight. Yeah, unbelievable human being, too. I mean, you take a look at how he's worked his way into the roster. His first game here, after the game, after everybody going to the locker room, he's on the bench cleaning up bottles and cleaning up trash. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, but it's awesome. We have a unique storyline in this game in that both goalkeepers played Indiana high school soccer. First time we believe that's ever happened in an Indy 11 match. When we have the next break in the action, we'll tell you about the opposing netminder tonight's match. Ball's at the feet of Mikey Lopez to Jared Cervania. And this is a Birmingham Legion team that is missing a couple of key pieces tonight. Junior Fleming's amongst those. Very similar to kind of the Neville Hackshaw story for the Indy 11 this year. Junior has been on international duty. That was a reckless challenge from Nick Moon, and immediately he puts his hands up and says, yep, that's my fault. And
Honestly, Nick's probably lucky he didn't see yellow after that one.
I agree. The way he came flying in on that, just the violence of the way it looked is something that can draw a yellow.
Now, Bret Hart appreciates the execution of the drop kick that he had that time, but generally that's not recommended, going in 2 feet up like that on a tackle. Fanuel Kavita, the veteran for this Birmingham Legion squad, seen no worse for wear. As we saw Fanuel the last couple of seasons playing for St. Louis FC. And right now, Fanuel is doing something he did in a full campaign 2 years ago, which is play every minute of every match so far. Obviously, it's very early for the Legion at this early stage of the season. So frankly, by about this point in the match, the previous 2 times these teams have met, somebody had a goal. Prosper Kassim left foot. Eric Dick closes the door.
And I tell you, both coaches talk about you can just throw that first game out. You know, it's the first match of the season. Both teams are still trying to figure out who they are and what they are. And then the field conditions were so bad down in Birmingham that it doesn't become tape and video that you can watch and really pull stuff from.
This match brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. We got a very brief glance at Trevor Spangenberg, who is fighting the setting sun of the West. Trevor knows this building very well. Played here for the Puerto Rico FC squad back in the NASL days. And Trevor, he too, from the state of Indiana, he played at Boone Grove High School just outside of Valparaiso before playing his college soccer at Missouri State. Spangs has been the backup to Matt Van Oekel the last couple of years in Birmingham. In fact, MVO had played every minute of every match so far this year, was questionable with an injury coming in, and Trevor Spangenberg about as experienced of a backup goalkeeper as we'll see in the USL Championship.
Yeah, he's been around as long as we have. But, you know, going back to your Indiana roots, this is such a unique opportunity for kids in Indiana who are dreaming of playing pro. You got 2 Indiana high school goalkeepers playing in opposite nets. You got 2 Butler guys. You got 2 IU guys. There's a lot of Indiana soccer on this field.
And those gentlemen would be Jeremiah Gutyar from Bloomington North High School that played at IU. Reese Buckmaster from Canterbury School of Fort Wayne that played at IU. Jared Timmer representing the Butler Bulldogs, all part of the starting 11 tonight for Indy. With us a week ago, really kind of the back 7 for the most part looks the same. It's the changes that are up top. Nicky Law pushed a bit more forward this evening. Ioze featured very briefly at the end of the match. And Manuel Arteaga fighting Fanuel Kavita for that ball on the east end of the stadium. He was a sub that played about the last 30 minutes last week. He too reinserted in the starting lineup for Indy. There is the aforementioned Jared Timmer off his leg for a throw-in for Birmingham.
I love the way Arteaga plays as a target. I mean, it's relentless pressure that he puts on the ball. He's strong in the air. He never quits on a ball. He's good with his feet, and he's a finisher if he gets a look in the box.
Wherever you go, fans, take the boys in blue with you. Download the Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Asiadu looking to advance the ball forward. Gutyar providing pressure. Gutyar getting a start in a 3rd consecutive match. For Birmingham, this is the first time they have played in 2 weeks. They lost to Memphis at home 2 weeks ago, 1-0. That's the only other match they have played since seeing the Indy 11 3 weeks ago. Both these teams lost a match in the not-too-distant past. Birmingham had a match abandoned on June 30th that they have rescheduled for next Wednesday. Indy, same scenario 2 weeks ago to Oklahoma City. They'll return the favor to OKC at the end of September. Cervania now will launch the attack for the Legion. Away as Asiadu recovers. Space to operate for Kassim. Lines it up left foot, heads up front row BYB. By the way, this match is brought to us by Keystone Construction. Keystone Construction, it's more than construction. We build a vision. There you see Tom Sohn briefly on the bench. Longtime assistant to Jay Heaps with the New England Revolution in Major League Soccer. When Jay left New England and kind of got the job as the club president of Birmingham, Tom was the first guy he brought on board. He's been the head coach since day number 1. A lot of New England Revolution ties in this Birmingham program.
Yeah, and great pickup by Jay Heaps. You take a look. When you're in a locker room with the guy, when you're practicing with the guy, you understand who they are. You get to see, do they quit on drills? Do they finish the drills? How tough are they? What's their mental toughness? How do they handle adversity? And so when you start looking at that and you get to know a guy from playing next to him, it's pretty easy to say, this is the guy I want leading my club.
Tom, a member of the Western Illinois University Hall of Fame. Always appreciate a leatherneck reference we can make on the broadcast.
I was trying to think. I knew it was something unique.
Opportunity here for Nick Moon, last week's goal scorer. Great speed of thought to keep the attack alive. Couldn't complete the pass, had a couple of options, but again, that kind of shows you the run that Moon has been on. Ioze goes to the turf. Our referee said not enough in it. Now that Spangenberg has corralled possession, we will go back. There is not one but two members of the Indy 11 down currently on the pitch, and Io will require Mija Kinsey and the training staff to come check on him.
I'll tell you what, you know, Cavito was thinking that that ball was, he was going to let it run and play a goal kick, and Nick Moon just did not quit on that ball. What a great effort to chase it down.
Now Moon, the player that came up a little bit hobbling, but he is already back up to his feet. It's Io, who has played through some slight injuries during the course of the season. When you're 35 years of age, that's not exactly atypical for Io. One of 8 players to have spent parts of 4 seasons with the Indy 11. Only player on the field that has more appearances wearing that badge on his left shoulder is Carl Ouimet in the starting lineup tonight. This reminder, fans, you can join us every Saturday morning for Soccer Saturday, presented by the Indy 11 from 9 until 10 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Thanks to Max Rogers, Reese Buckmaster, and Gary Owen for joining us in the program this morning. And because there was live soccer this morning with the U.S. women's national team getting a 6-1 victory over New Zealand, we talked plenty of Olympic soccer and Gold Cup too. Go back and listen anytime by logging on to 1075thefan.com.
I tell you, I like to see Adu in the middle of the field. He's an engine. He connects the pieces. Tireless worker, great defender.
Kasim appearing in just his 5th match of the season. Ball quickly knocked away from him. This is a Birmingham team that had kind of multiple opportunities, say in the first 25 to 30 minutes against Indy when they got together 3 weeks ago, and then just kind of buckled down and hung on defensively to preserve that 1-0 victory. Their first win here in Indianapolis in the brief history of the rivalry. These teams played twice in 2019. Now have played a 3rd time, with 1 more to follow. Coming up on Sunday, October the 10th, down at BBVA Field. And Moon will get whistled. Van Kaziel will restart almost instantaneously. Ball sent in. Segrist, Ioze. Nicky Law couldn't clear it. Siadu looking to distribute instead of just take a blast with his left foot. That one deflected off of Buckmaster.
Yeah, a little too much time for Siadu to try and make a decision on what to do. He had Indy a little bit out of sorts with that missed clearance and had the chance to pull the trigger, just never thought he had a clear window.
Not sure if you would say there's really been a threatening moment yet in this match. Some 30 minutes in. Frankly, a little bit early to talk about results and who's playing for a point, who's playing for 3. I would say the road point would be far better than the home point if this one potentially finishes in a draw. And Indy just has been unable to generate a lot of positive momentum as of late. 4 wins on the season, but 3 of them coming before Memorial Day. And obviously playing with an interim head coach as the team and Martin Runny parted ways after the June 15th 1-0 loss to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Saw this team win their next game at Sporting Kansas City 2, then get an impressive 3-3 draw at Louisville. And again, just 1 loss since that time, but like we said, just a point here, a point there, and Indy fans are hoping for more. Here's Buckmaster.
And the tough part, those points that they're picking up are at home, where they should be picking up or trying to get the 3.
Road has been kinder to the Indy 11. They have picked up 11 of their 16 points away from Carroll Stadium.
It's a good turn. Siadu had a little gamble. Gutyar was better.
Ioze looking back post.
What a clever ball.
Nor Moon were close enough to it.
Outside of the left foot, bent to the back post.
Any other player for the Indy 11 be jaw-dropping. That's just Ioze. It's just what he does.
Right.
What happens when you spend time in La Liga before now spending 9 years playing in the States. First with New York Cosmos and now for Indy. The vice captain of the Indy 11 this year, and the man that, or he's the captain, the man that is the vice captain. Rolabet just played that ball forward to Jared Timmer. It's a Birmingham team that dresses just 16 for tonight's match.
Hey, you take a look at not starting Nico Pratt and only dressing 16 and having 2 weeks off. You wonder how banged up they've been.
Missing a couple of players international duty, a couple of players being hurt. Timmer deflected that one off of Ryan James. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Buckmaster sends it in. Good-looking ball, and Kavita had no other choice. Puts it open over the hospitality tents. Corner coming for the Indy 11 here in minute number 33.
Yeah, it was a great serve. It was right to the backside of Kavita, which turns him towards his own goal, which means he can't just head that ball back to where it's coming from. He's got to put it out of play.
So Nicky Law led to the corner flag. Nicky, the most experienced player in terms of European play who have played for the Indy 11. Over 500 matches in England and Scotland. Ball sent in, edge of the 6. Cochran the target. Io couldn't find a window. Timmer looks to redirect, and James skies it. Second verse, opposite side as the first. Corner kick coming for Indy.
Love it. Great thought by Iose. Had a look at the shot. Asiadu was coming out, closing him down. Timmer comes off his wing, plays it out there, gives him a chance to drive the ball across the middle.
And for so many years, it was just assumed the guy wearing number 7 was heading the corner flag. This year it's been more Nicky Law and Gordon Wild.
I like
Max
this
Rogers
though.
On the sideline.
I like Iose sneaking in there. Those two together, such a high soccer IQ.
Kasim, well done on 2 fronts. 1 to put a leg in front of the pass, and 2 to clear it back for a throw and not a corner. And Kasim, his 3rd year with the Birmingham Legion. Their leading goal scorer in regular season play in their inaugural campaign. To give you an idea how solidly this foundation's been built in Birmingham, they have made the playoffs each of their first 2 years as a franchise. Here's Segrist. Cervania knocks it to the side. Segrist, the player on loan for the Indy 11 from Inter Miami. A man that was an MLS draft pick a season ago. Turned in 3 matches for the Red Bulls last year. Out of Marquette University. Nicky Law just couldn't control that touch. Arteaga.
Love it.
Cronolli fits.
There's nothing easy.
Cronolli never got to play on this field during his days with the Indy 11.
And that's
Spangenberg.
Forced by Arteaga, who chases down, presses Cronolli, follows the ball into Spangenberg.
That's also part of Trevor, frankly, not having seen any live fire until today this year. Because Van Oekel has been so good and has handled everything. Throw in coming here for Indy. Nick was hoping for a corner, didn't get it. Here's Buckmaster. Go figure, finds Gutjahr immediately. Those guys have been teammates now at 3 different levels. The academy level, collegiately, and now professional.
Roommates at IU, you got to believe that they walked through that throw in numerous times in their room.
I think they're past the point of having to walk through it. I think they're good at this juncture.
Just dry erase board.
Reese first played at this facility in a high school state championship game. Canterbury School of Fort Wayne at the 1A level. Playing for legendary Indiana high school coach Greg Mock. Moon. Good job of standing him up by Kasim. Back to the relative safety of the center backs as Cochran and Womet will switch the sides of the attack. Fans, show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive IMCU Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online now at imcu.com today. There's Arteaga, 3 goals on the season. Should have been 4.
I like that thought
against Birmingham.
I like that thought. It's a great ball from Ouimet. Arteaga checks in as the target forward, draws a little bit of attention to him, opens up a little space for Moon, and just tries to flick it into that window.
Cochran and Ouimet tumble. The sizable J.J. Williams to restart for the Legion.
He's a handful. He is a handful up there.
Carl Wilmette will tell you that, given the dust-ups they have had over the first 2 meetings this season. JJ drew a red card for their tangle back on May 1st. Carl, the penalty and the yellow for the get-together 9 weeks later on July 3rd that set up the lone tally of the match here. Now Cervania had a window to shoot, tried to pass it. Williams pokes it away from Ouimet. But Segrist very coolly from the edge of the 6 distributes back to midfield. Dean.
It's a good turn.
Plays it across, and Eric Dick, I'm not sure he got a finger to it. It's going to be ruled he did. It goes out for a corner. That's and Eric saying, no, I never touched it. The referee is saying there was a deflection there, not off the keeper. He is pointing to Jared Timmer, said that's where the ball touched, not you. Corner coming for Birmingham.
I'll tell you what, Dean, the defenders just split a little bit. Dean saw the space and attacked it immediately.
Dean has played in every match but 1 so far this season. 16 appearances as a first-year pro last year. Dean 2 assists, has yet to score. Mikey Lopez to steer it in for the Legion. Ball headed down, doesn't get through, and Nicky Law will send this one in the general direction of downtown.
It was a good ball. It was a good serve. Good opportunity for Birmingham.
Part of the story for Birmingham tonight, with Nico Brett available as a sub but not a starter, is simply put, where do the goals come from? Birmingham has scored 11 times in 12 matches. Cronolli a target here. Segrist trying to track his every move. And Brett has 8 of the 11 goals this year for the Legion.
Yeah, that's a situation that Indy's very familiar with the heavy reliance.
A see-a-do! Got Eric Dick on the wrong foot, and again, there was a deflection there, so here comes the corner again. So to finish off the story, Brad, of the 11 goals scored by Birmingham so far this year, 1 of them is on the field right now in J.J. Williams. That's it.
That's incredible. And it frustrates you a little bit as a team because you have to have somebody step up. You got to have somebody get confidence up there. And here's a ball that was just served into the 6. Birmingham gets the first touch on it, but isn't able to convert.
Little conversation for our match referee before we start. By the way, Kevin Fiker is our mass official. Brooke Mayo, Chris Schufranz, our assistant referees today. Sunyinka Kahinde is our 4th official for tonight's contest. Mania steers it in. Arteaga got there first. Well done by the gentleman that his teammates call Manu.
He just fights.
Yep.
He fights for every ball.
And from Venezuela, 2nd Venezuelan ever to play for the Indy 11. Juan Guerra, the first back in 2018. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of half number 1, presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Ball just barely crossed the touch line. Steered back into play for an Indy 11 throw-in. Another good crowd on hand here at Carroll Stadium. That almost goes without saying these days, but it was a delay for the crowd to get in. We started on time. However, there was a storm that just missed us, that just went to the south of us. It had enough lightning close to the area that delayed the opening of the gates by about 20 minutes tonight. But the fans were undeterred, and several thousand in attendance here at Carroll Stadium to see it. Ever since the absence of Neville Hackshaw, this team has gone to more of a back four than a back three, although again those wings have the ability to get up the field. But it's become Buckmaster and Segrist that have been regulars in the back line to try to replace Neville Hackshaw. And Neville was slated to return tonight, however had to be pulled from the starting lineup for Trinidad and Tobago in their final match of the Gold Cup last Sunday evening.
It'll be interesting when Neville's back in the mix if they stay with the four backs.
Law knocks it forward. Arteaga flips it in, and Spangenberg quickly hustles out to get it.
Because even though Neville can hold that side down by himself, he does get forward very well. And if you've got another inside back for him, that gives him a little bit more freedom to get up and into the attack.
Community Health Sports Medicine is a proud partner of the Indy 11. Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care simply delivered. Well, simply put, you could be playing a 0-10-1 and you put Neville Hackshaw on the field. It's a point well made, but whenever he's ready, they'll find a spot for him. Opportunity here. Prosper Cassim has Williams to his right. It slows it up just enough to allow bodies to recover for the Indy 11.
I'll tell you, as tough as it's been to pull points while Neville's been out, I'm shocked I haven't seen him on the team of the week, even though he's not been here.
All flicked forward. Williams tries the give and go. Loose change in the box. Cochran sends it sideways. Van Kaziel will track it down.
That was a clever buildup.
That'll be another corner coming. So A.J. Cochran spent the last 2 years with Phoenix Rising, native of St. Louis. Cochran and Nicky Law enter this match with the most minutes played for the Indy 11 so far this season.
This is one of those critical moments, last 5 minutes of a half. Fatigue sets in a bit.
Arteaga wasn't sure about it. Sets up a dangerous ball here. Flicked all the way the other side of the post. And we will boot that one into the sky.
That was crazy. That looked like it left the field 2 or 3 times.
I would not think that we are looking at an abundance of added time at the end of this half. It has been largely whistle-free. Arteaga with an opportunity. It's Gutjahr in support, but it's largely on number 29. Does he give it a go? Absolutely. And Spangenberg was up for the challenge.
Was a great touch. He had to work so hard in the middle of the field to get that ball into a place where he could attack that he had only one shot before he knew he was going to get closed down to push that ball out in front and give him a look at the goal.
Arteaga has been on the roster of both Parma and Palermo, but never had a chance to play for either of those two teams. And a yellow has been shown. And Timmer looks like got an inadvertent arm or elbow in the face is the reason for said showing of a card. Jared may have to visit the fight doctor at halftime. Make sure everything's taken care of. By the way, 1 minute of added time. 1 minute.
So you look at this, and this is a critical opportunity here.
Io sends it in, looking back post. Keeps it in play. Timmer found a window, but not to a chance to take a shot. Just a few seconds. Everything's got to be going forward for Indy. We'll glance towards Kevin Fiker's wristwatch. He takes a look. An indication when first half activity will come to an end. Segrist, an optimistic ball looking for Back to Spangenberg, and that'll do it.
Not a bad thought. Yeah, had some bodies on the backside, but that ball probably needed to be driven just to give a chance to get up and get ahead on it.
An evenly played first half, but a half largely without a heart-in-throat moment for either goalkeeper. 0-0 for Max Rogers' team here in the opening 45 minutes of play. Again, in the previous two matchups, there was a goal in the first half. Whoever may score the first second half goal of the season between these two clubs might just take home all 3 points tonight. Stay tuned. Halftime show comes your way next as you're watching Indy 11 Soccer here on Wish TV and ESPN+. You hear me?
I can hear you fine.
I hear you now. I got you loud and clear.
Very
I
good.
can hear
you.
you.
Hear me?
Yep,
Okay.
we got you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you. We are back at halftime of this second matchup of the month of July between the Indy 11 and the Birmingham Legion. Thanks so much for joining us here on Wish TV and my ESPN+. We always start the halftime show by taking a look around the USL Championship. And let's start by taking a look at the Team of the Week. Now, neither team featured in the Team of the Week. Birmingham has a pretty good excuse. They didn't play last week. Player of the Week is Solomon Asante, and we're going to reference Solomon again coming up in a matter of moments. Matt Cardone of San Antonio FC was the goalkeeper of the week. And how about Jonathan Gomez, the talented teenager from Lou City who will be leaving the club at the end of the year to play overseas. He makes the Team of the Week as well. Now, elsewhere, let's get to our news and notes from around the USL Championship. And let's start with the Golden Boot race. Again, the guy that's in second right now is in this match tonight is Nico Brett, who entered the contest with 8 goals. Good news is he's second. The bad news is he's 5 goals back of Haji Berry. 13 goals in 13 games. He did not score last night in the Switchbacks 1-1 draw against Lou City. Now, Solomon Asante, one of those players that has 8 goals. That's not surprising. A, that's what he does, and B, that's what Phoenix Rising does. They have put together astronomical numbers over the course of the last 2 or 3 seasons, and that continues as they are averaging almost 2 2/3 goals per match. And in soccer terms, that's pretty darn impressive. Now, the opposite of that is what Elliot Panico is doing for Austin Bold out in the Western Conference. They have had 6 clean sheets from Elliot in the 10 times he's been between the posts so far for Austin Bold. With that, we'll have more of our first half highlights, plus a conversation with Indy 11 interim head coach Max Rogers when we come back from this break. Again, it's halftime at Carroll Stadium. Indy 11 and Birmingham Legion. Back with more halftime coverage next on Wish TV and ESPN+.
Generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
The 18, the mark is
Sargent goes to his left, hard strike, and it's in the net, 2-1 Oakland.
Let's get another massive stop.
Shoots, deflected, and a big save from Rawls.
Sante takes this on. Oh, that's a tremendous goal from Sola.
Your next generation of Indy 11 stars right there, taking to tonight's match here at Carroll Stadium. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder back with you here on Wish TV and ESPN+. We referenced this in passing in the first half. Lou City is going to be in first place in the Central Division regardless of what happens in tonight's game. That's because they played last night and played to a 1-1 draw in the match against the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, one of their two matchups against teams from the Western Conference this year. As you can tell, it was a busy Friday evening. A couple other games in the East. Charleston Battery beating the Charlotte Independence 2-1. And the Riverhounds beat New York Red Bulls 2 by a score of 3-1. Now, here are the games taking place tonight. And the games of importance in terms of this division don't start until 8:30. Memphis hosting FC Tulsa, and OKC Energy currently 1 point clear of the Indy 11 for the fourth and final playoff spot again before we get to the halfway point of the season. Both those two start at 8:30. Tampa Bay Rowdies, they've been in first place seemingly since day one in the Atlantic. They lead Loudoun by a 0-0 20 minutes in, and Hartford Athletic an early lead as well. Again, there is a look at the current Central Division standings. And again, Lou City has got a little cushion, but frankly, between 2 through 8, with different levels of games played, nothing is decided yet. Even when it comes to first place, again, folks, none of these teams are at the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, such a competitive division. You look, Birmingham also has 2 games in hand on Lou City. They pick up 3 points tonight and still have a game in their back pocket. They can still, hold the top of this table. But I tell you, this is such an important game for Indy 11, as hot as OKC is right now.
You can also look at this as kind of good news, bad news for the Indy 11. You can say it's a good thing they've only got 3 games left against the top 2 teams in the division. Perhaps if you're trying to make up points, it's a bad thing you've only got 3 games left against the top 2 teams in the division.
Yes, but the teams that they've needed to pick up points against, Memphis and OKC's when they were at the bottom of the table, they didn't. So that's a struggle they have to overcome.
As you can tell, August is a busy one for the Indy 11, and a lot of these matchups take place away from Carroll Stadium. Not that we would miss the home fans, but given how the results have gone, that might be a good thing for the Indy 11. We will have the coverage of that match at FC Tulsa on August 4th coming up on My Indy TV. After tonight, next time the Indy 11 are back home, August 14th. More Halftime Show comes your way next. Work hard, finish strong. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Birmingham Legion has made their way back on the field. The Indy 11 soon to follow, but already to our broadcast location is the interim head coach of the Indy 11 in Max Rogers that joins us now. Coach, as always, thank you for your time and just your impressions on the opening 45 minutes of play.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent half, actually, and Birmingham played a different shape and quite fluid in the shape, so that posed a challenge. But once we sort of got to grips with that, I thought we had a couple good moments on the ball, and that was the message at half-time, to have that kind of confidence and the belief that when we get the ball, to keep it, to pass the ball, make that extra pass to make them defend for a period of time.
Just your thoughts about how they are a different team to defend without Nico, Brett, and I'm sure you're expecting to see him at some point in time in half number 2, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they've got good attacking players, so, you know, we obviously have to be aware of that, but we spoke about trying to get a bit more pressure higher up the field to stop them having the opportunity to play into the attacking players, so that's important. But we've also have defended the box reasonably well. Most of their shots have come from outside the box, which you know, you accept that. Obviously we also need to get better pressure on the ball to stop that, but we'd rather that than any shots inside the penalty box. You got it, Max. Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you after the match. Thanks, Greg. Cheers. You got it, buddy. Max Rogers, interim head coach of the Indy 11, kind enough to join us here during the course of our halftime show. Greg Rakestraw, Brad Hodder with you here on Wish TV and ESPN+. Coach, your thoughts on what Max had to say?
Yeah, it's interesting. He touched on it with the way that they played the last time they were here is different than they played against Memphis 2 weeks ago, and that's different tonight as well. So when you're game planning and you see something completely different, you're really trusting the IQ of the players to figure it out as they play.
All right, so from a tactics standpoint, do you see much of a change? Obviously, you've got weapons you can go to, Gordon Wild, Peter Lee Vassell, etc., if you're the Indy 11. So you've got those kind of cards to deal off the deck if you want to. From a tactics standpoint, anything changes? I'll
tell you, I don't think changes in anything tactically. What I'd love to see is that big ball driven into Arteaga more. If he's a big, strong target, and then either flick it into space for Moon or Iose on the outside, two creative, dynamic pieces, or drop it back to Nicky Law and let him play Nick Moon or Iose into space. I think that's going to do a couple of things. One, it's going to give more touches to some dangerous Indy 11 pieces. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to make James and Dean have to sit home and defend a little bit more. That's going to take some of their energy away from getting forward.
One thing in the hustle and bustle of the start of our broadcast that we have neglected to mention and should jump on here. Young man that we saw score a goal at Lou City, scored a goal that didn't count at Oklahoma City, and then appear as a sub last week, is unfortunately no longer on the Indy 11. That would be Cami Smith, the young man from Scotland who was brought in at the end of the spring. Unfortunately, he asked to be released or have his contract terminated, be able to return to the UK to deal with some family issues. So you will not see Cami Smith in tonight's game. And on behalf of the Indy 11 and the Indy 11 fan base, I want to thank Cami for his brief time with the club, and we hope we see him back in the number 8 jersey for this club at some point down the road.
Right, fingers crossed. I mean, he was just heating up. Great engine in the middle of the field. And then you talk about that goal that didn't count against OKC. Holy smokes, what a bomb.
It would have been his second of the year for the Indy 11. So once again, thanks for joining us on Wish TV and ESPN+. Alex Cronolli, his brother Eli, one of the players available for selection off the bench for head coach Tom Sohn. It's Johnny Dean. No Junior Flemings tonight. If you're a Junior Flemings fan for Birmingham, just wait till tomorrow night. Probably going to be in the starting lineup for Jamaica, playing against the USA in the Gold Cup quarterfinals. One of 17 players from the championship that appeared in Gold Cup competition. Zach Haribo also still to return from international duty for this Birmingham Legion squad. They're without their starting goalkeeper, Matt Van Okel, tonight. And legendary Daigo Kobayashi out due to injury tonight as well. Ball across the mouth of the goal that Cochran sweeps away.
Clever ball.
Throw in coming here in minute number 47. Sports this match brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Buckmaster. And then Moon. And Kaziel will steer it to his once again teammate in Ryan James. Those guys in Pittsburgh the last couple of years. Left foot by Kasim. I don't think, right, he ran into a leg. The ball did not touch the leg of an Indy defender. He could not follow through because I'm pretty sure that he got stopped by the tree trunks of Iose. Goal kick coming for Eric Dick.
I'll tell you what vision to find Lopez at the top of the box. I think James winds up like he's going to drive the ball across the box and then just cleverly touches it into Lopez.
Now, James, a clever player. We have seen him in 2 previous stops, spent time with Nashville SC, then played for Bob Lilly in Pittsburgh. But James is a guy, to some degree, like Nicky Law for the Indy 11. You don't see his stats in terms of the numbers, but if you ask the coaching staff, hey, give me one of your keys to success, he's often a guy that gets pointed to.
Yeah, sometimes you see that stuff in the flow of a game and you just recognize the brilliance of it. And you mentioned there's not stats for some of this stuff. Sometimes you catch it on film and you look at it and you say, oh, okay, look, the other guy may have gotten the assist, the other guy may have gotten the goal, the other guy may have gotten the possession pass, the completion, but it was all set up because of that run or that spacing. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's one of the beautiful things about this game, Rick.
Got a great shot of Iose and Johnny Dean smiling. Johnny being a young pro. Whatever Iose is telling you, young man, listen.
No, I don't think so, because this is what I think Iose is telling him. Hey,
Give
stop getting forward
for the next 40 minutes.
Stop getting forward. Stay back and defend.
Okay, listen, after the match is what you're saying. Okay, I got you. Asiadu will steer that back. Kasim is quickly waved back on, so Birmingham is playing at full strength.
And that's one of the interesting things in this heat and humidity, because it is a little bit of a rough night, even though it's cooled off a bit. How much can James and Dean keep playing the way they're playing and get it? Look at this. Look at this fight. How much can they continue this pace of getting forward before they have a little bit of fatigue sets in that either erodes some of their technical ability, some of their tactical decisions, or exposes something for Indy 11 to break through?
Mikey Lopez, and deemed to be no foul from Carl Ouimet. Throw-in coming for the Indy 11. Indy 11 Premium Suites, the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com or call 317-685-1100. And on behalf of the folks in Fairmount, Indiana, they like to thank you for referencing James and Dean together in that order here in his home state.
I didn't even put that together, right?
Yeah,
man, you don't miss
don't play
a thing.
Coy. No, you nailed it. Segrist able to keep that in play as he goes into the signboard. Now Io back to the center of the park for Indy. Buckmaster surveying his options. And possession has been in favor of Indy. Like we said, there's not really been a sprawling save that's had to have been made by either netminder tonight. And part of that has to be by design because of, again, no Junior Flemings. Nico Brett is a sub in tonight's game for Birmingham. If you asked which side wanted to play kind of a more controlled, measured match, it would be the Legion that would be the answer to that question.
But that's where you get to the place where, you know, stats and analytics can sometimes cloud your thinking because, yeah, Indy's held almost 60% of the possession, but Birmingham's outshot 8-1 right now. And
Correct.
So, you know, you're being more efficient on the ball with less time on it. And if you get too caught up in analytics, you'd be praising yourself for all this possession when it's not materializing into dangerous opportunities in the attacking third.
Agreed. I would also say that shots number is a bit misleading. As Max Rogers said, hey, most of those shots have come from distance so far for Birmingham. And they have yet to score in the run of play against Indy this season. This is now 230 minutes in. The only goal from the penalty spot. Asiadu tried to change that. James to his left. James looking for Cervania. That will be a corner coming for Birmingham Legion.
Yeah, that was one that I think if Asiadu would have held it a touch longer and maybe forced either Ouimet or Buckmaster to tuck in a little bit more to prevent him from continuing to attack, that would have opened up some different opportunities for James.
Asiadu, one of 2 Ghanaians on the team, Prosper Kasim the other. Though Anderson played his college soccer first at Monmouth and then UCLA. Dick trying to carve out some space in front of net for Indy. Short corner coming here. Little 1-2 play. Lopez looking back post, and Eric Dick out of there with it quickly. Young man that spent 5 years at Butler University. 1 year as a redshirt. 71 starts for Eric. for being a first-round pick in the MLS Super Draft in 2018 by Sporting Kansas City 2. And McMoon creates the contact and draws the whistle. Talked to Paul Snape about both Eric Dick and Jared Timmer in the last couple of weeks, and he said Eric was a guy that we had to pull off the training field. He was like, listen, the 4th time you've trained today is not doing you any good.
The kid's unbelievable. We were recruiting him, and he would email constantly, what can I do? What kind of drills can I do? Can you give me something else? What? It's like, hey, I can't even keep up with the emails. You're actually training.
Arteaga with a touch to settle Kavita on his left hip. Doing the research for this game, and I had forgotten the fact that Fanwell has played in this building before. He too, part of that Puerto Rico FC team in 2017 that played numerous matches here in Indianapolis. Good turn by Asiadu. And now Dean. Dean for Kasim. Kasim gets a
Good
look,
touch.
and Kasim scores it. Prosper Kasim with the goal in minute number 54. Birmingham is on the board first.
Look, this was set up by the run from Asiadu. He picks it up in the middle of the field. He draws the defenders in, and then he plays a ball into space for Dean to run onto. Didn't play it to his feet, didn't play it where he had to wait for it, didn't play it to his back foot, played it where he could go in and make a run. But I tell you what, great touch. Great touch by Kasim at the top of the box.
Again, Prosper Kasim has played limited minutes for this Birmingham squad this year, but they know what he can do. 3 goals, 3 assists a year ago in a shortened season. Led the team in regular season goals in their inaugural campaign in 2019. And again, without Nico Brett on the field right now, Birmingham has carved out a 1-0 advantage. And there's a large crowd that has grown awfully silent here at Carroll Stadium.
It's a great touch by Kasim to let that ball come across his body, holds the defender on his right side, opens it up, puts it on his left, and is able to find the far post.
Kasim had not a goal nor an assist in his 4 previous matchups. 4 previous matches played, I should say, for Birmingham this year. So the Legion a goal to the good in Indy 11, as they have been so often doing this year. They are chasing the game, and they have pulled just 5 points from home matches this year. The full 3 against Sporting Kansas City 2 on May 22nd. A draw against OKC on June 2nd. And a draw last Saturday against Memphis 901. That's it. And it is almost stupefying that in this return to the more intimate venue, with having the Brickyard Battalion at your back, that this team has struggled so much in this building. Moon trying to give an immediate answer. Couldn't do it.
And I was talking to Tommy Stone the other day, and one of the things, you look at this Indy 11 team on paper and you see the talent, you see the ability to compete at the top of this league, and the league knows it, the fans know it, and it feels almost like a Jenga game. At some point somebody's going to pull out the wrong peg and Indy's just going to explode. Yeah, I hope it comes in 2 goals here in the last 35 minutes.
Williams the flick. Great hustle by Asiadu. And Eric Dick able to track it down. Just the 2nd goal he has allowed. His 2 matches played for the Indy 11 this year. His only previous outing was on July 7th. The 1-1 draw against Atlanta United 2. So the Indy 11 matches as of late have seemingly been in binary code. A lot of 1-0 and 1-1. We're trying to at least catch up to 1-1 at this point.
Or what do you call it? Indy 11 bingo, when you start checking boxes. So we got the James Dean reference.
Yep.
Got the binary code one in there, which is we've been talking about for a long time.
We probably ought to let people know what's on the bingo card before we actually announce it, though. You know what I mean? Like take it to social media before the game and say, hey, look for these references in tonight's broadcast.
Binary code.
That would indicate
James
some
Dean.
level of planning that we would have before the broadcast. We tend to be more of a rip and react, sort of entry. Timmer, or Segrist, excuse me. Throw in coming for Indy. And as far as options off the bench, Gordon Wild, Peter Lee Vossel immediately come to mind. Jordan Hamilton clearly as well. Nedeljko Malic and Bubakar Sissoko amongst those that are loosening currently. That one deflected. Goal kick coming. Arteaga, one of the more dangerous looks so far for Indy.
That's the great thing about a ball driven into the box. Arteaga is so good in the air. You're just saying, hey, you know, first of all, Nicky Law, he puts it where he wants. Arteaga is going to go up and get it.
Arteaga, a goal scored against Birmingham back on May 1st. Kavita feeling the pressure.
Now the tough spot that Indy finds themselves in right now is, you know, you're looking to see how much do Dean and James have in the tank to keep going forward.
What a back heel by Moon.
That's unreal.
But Buckmaster deemed to be offside. That looked awfully tight. We'll get a great look.
Wow.
But the speed of thought by Moon, impressive.
The look from Buckmaster says, I don't agree with that call.
Fans are reminded to watch Wish TV, your local news source. Find them online at wishtv.com.
What a touch by Moon.
Yeah. Just like the sliding, again, the game has slowed down for him at year 2 and stuff, which means he has sped up. Again, not that he was any sort of slow on the draw a year ago. He had 2 assists in his first Indy 11 match. Spangs has to play that with his feet, and Arteaga going to try to put him in a tough spot.
You know, that's where you can start to see a guy advance tactically. You know, last year, Nick Moon solved a lot of problems just by being a great athlete and being fast. And now he's solving them with another tool in his toolbox in the way that he's seeing the game and reading the game.
Arteaga deemed to have committed a foul as Cronolli goes to the turf. Game without much in the way of whistles. Seen 1 card directed towards Birmingham towards the end of half number 1, and there are about to be multiples of the Cronolli family on the field as younger brother Eli has made his way to the 4th official for Birmingham. And Alex was with the Indy 11 for all of 6 games early in 2019. He was loaned by the Columbus Crew. That is his hometown team, by the way. But then because of injuries, the Crew had to recall him from his loan. Prosper Kasim has scored, and Prosper Kasim will exit stage left. It is Cronolli that will come in to replace him. And the Indy 11 brought to change out the front line in terms of Gordon Wild as well as Jordan Hamilton will enter. And all of our substitutions are brought to us by Jiffy Lube.
And you look at this sub right now, and you're pulling off an attacking piece. You're bringing in a guy with a little bit more of a defensive mindset. Not that you're going to sit in, but you are recognizing that, you know, there's going to be a little bit more push from Indy going forward.
For USL standing stats and all the latest league news, be sure to visit uslsoccer.com. We saw a similar move last week when Max Rogers brought in 3 substitutions at one time. And the now departed Cami Smith, along with Gordon Wild and Manuel Arteaga. And this is part of the luxury, almost slash problem, though, you're dealing with, is there is so much in terms of talent and options. It's tough to kind of get everybody the minutes they're hoping to have as Gutjahr. It's hacked by Lopez and draws the whistle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Is it a complete trade out of the attacking pieces, or do you pull some midfielders out and just get a little bit more attacking mindset in the front half of the guys on the field?
Hamilton with the penalty brace against Lou City. It's the last time he has scored, or excuse me, not the last time he scored. Last time he scored was the 1-1 draw against Atlanta United 2 on July 7th. Club leader in goals scored with 4. He has been splitting his time as of late between a starter and that's going to see about 30 minutes of action, as is the case tonight. The target that time was Williams for Lopez. Could not sneak it through. Ask was for a handball there. Instead, the Indy 11 will settle for the three-point takedown.
They saw it on that last transitional moment from Birmingham, as there's a gap as the 11 have started pushing numbers forward. There's this gap between that front line and the mid and the back line that allows Birmingham to play it through the middle and maintain possession. So Indy's got to keep their shape through this. You can push numbers forward, but you still need to be able to keep your shape.
Alex Cronolli is shown yellow, and again, we had the luxury of the replay. You can see that Arteaga, whether intentional or not, a bit of an extended arm kind of got into the chops of Cronolli, and hence the fierce of it in terms of Gutjahr and Buckmaster as Hamilton and Wild enter. And to go back to your question as to how Max Rogers would handle the substitutions, it's the latter. He is putting all of his forward pieces on the pitch, again knowing it's not a must-win for the Indy 11, but you need that feel-good story of trying to get 3 points, knowing you're not playing again for 10 more days.
Right, and you just put 5 goals on the field, which is important confidence-wise, up in and around the box.
So Moon will drop back to more of a midfield role, which I think he's frankly capable of playing all 11 at this juncture. Moon, late whistle, but got it. Let's hope that Nick is all right, as he is clutching again the knee, and that's what concerns you.
Yeah, tough tackle, just awkward the way that he came down.
I think the referee had to kind of process it to see, hey, was that a Siadu that caused that, or did he simply step on the ball? And enough contact there was made, and let's hope that Moon is all right.
Hey, you talk about that it's not a must-win at this point, but you can see it from where we're standing right now. If it's not tonight, it's coming up.
It's the next exit.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that.
So Wild and Law give you a pair of options on the reset here. Wild that sends it in. Curling ball that was gotten to first by a Birmingham player. Now steered outside of the 18. Ryoze will track it down. He'll redirect. We met the target. Spangenberg has it. Flag went up anyway.
What a great serve. Both great serves in there. I actually would not have minded as Nicky Law makes that run over the ball. Nobody went with him. And as creative as he is in and around the box, might be an opportunity on the next ball that's in and around to maybe play him in.
Thanks to our friends at Bet Rivers, the official sports betting partner of the Indy 11. Bet with a winner. Three substitutions available for the Indy 11. In terms of field players, that's all that's left for Birmingham. Again, they brought just 16 tonight, including their third string keeper in Parker. And it's Matt Van Oekel, who had appeared in every match so far this year, unable to play this evening. Hamilton late to get to it. Spangenberg able to track it down.
Yeah, we saw it against Memphis. Jordan Hamilton uses his body really well to hold off that defender. Oh, what a tackle.
And Moon got the ball first. And Ioze able to win the 50-50 ball from Asiadu, which allowed Hamilton to get onside. Opportunity here. Hamilton didn't do much with said opportunity.
Yeah, tough angle. You got 2 goal scorers on the back post. I would have liked to seen how that would have developed with another touch to see if maybe you can get a better shooting angle, or if one of those runs can break off into space and you can find him in the box. That's a tough angle and tough distance. You've got the goalkeeper, you've got the defender closing down the far post, so the goalkeeper doesn't have to defend the whole goal. It's going to be tough to beat him from that distance.
The United Soccer League, all 31 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change, the United Against Racism campaign, please visit uslsoccer.com. Arteaga has been tremendous at doing exactly this.
Tireless.
He is absolutely emptying the tank tonight. I'm not sure he's at the full 90 in those legs, but He is not being shortchanged for effort. There's a bounce that goes the Indy 11's way. Multiple opportunities here. Wild sends it across.
Oh my goodness. Kavita.
There's a reason why he does not leave the field for whatever team he is playing. Benwell Kavita is one of the best defenders in the league.
That ball, he does not clear that ball. It slides across the box. Nicky Law is there for the tap in.
Quick restart. All settled outside of the 18 by Moon. Siadu blocked Moon's entry into the 18. Now the 11 will reorganize. Again, the defensive pieces staying forward. A bit of a recalibration with Segrist trying to launch the attack, and unfortunately airmails the pass. The Denny Companies are a proud partner of the Indy 11. Denny Companies, tearing down the past so you can build the future. Want to say a quick hello to our buddy Juan Guerra. We referenced him in the first half. He already has hit me up twice, knowing he's watching the broadcast. So, hello, Coach. Thanks for tuning us in tonight. These days on the staff of Phoenix Rising.
It's a great switch.
Nico Brett has made his way to the bench for Birmingham. We'll see him momentarily. Eli hit that one in the general direction of the video board.
Hey, that was a great switch for a couple reasons. One, not only does it create an attacking opportunity, it draws a little bit more time, and it makes Indy have to defend the entire field. They had it pressed on this side. They had bodies on this side. They now have to spend the energy to shift over another 30 yards to defend that ball from Dean.
The USL recently announced the formation of the USL W League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer, both on and off the pitch. Comprised of clubs from across the championship, League One and League Two, and new expansion markets as well. The W League is set to begin play in 2022 in more than 30 communities across the U.S. Visit USLWleague.com to learn more. And again, J.J. Williams, that's such a unique combination. 6'4" and 200.
Unreal.
Playing up top.
Speaking of W League, did you see that goal from the Swedish? The bomb from about 25 yards out today?
In the Olympics against Australia?
Holy smokes, what a rip.
I gotta say, I focused my early morning Saturday watching attention from a soccer standpoint completely on the USA-New Zealand match. Got to see 6 goals just watching that.
They've had a couple moments that Indy's been dangerous on some turnovers and some counterattack moments. You got to believe that Birmingham is out there right now. Just reminding them, hey, no turnovers, no lazy passes across the back.
Here's Moon. Moon steers it in. I'm not sure he placed that one exactly where he wanted to, but James trying to settle. And now a corner coming for Indy.
And the tough part, I think Nick Moon is on some tired legs, but he's also grabbed that hamstring a couple times right now.
There are more subs available if needed for Indy. Wild changed his mind in mid-stride. Iose back post.
Oh my goodness.
The bar still dangling there and swept away. Moon might have got away with a handball to keep that ball on the attack. That kind of year for the Indy 11.
What a serve by Iose.
Got a good look that another 6 inches below, it's a tie game.
And great presence of mind from Gordon to change thinking in the middle and see that Iose's open and deliver him a ball he can play.
And now Cronolli will rocket this one. Eric Dick will try to keep the attack going as quickly as he can for the Indy 11. Iose, can you win the foot race? No. Spangenberg beats him to it. Ball behind Lopez for an Indy 11 throw-in. Let's go back to the best chance on goal tonight for the Indy 11.
Get this serve.
It's Carl Lamette. Missed it by a couple of inches. Substitution, Jared Cervania will exit. Nico Brett, he have 8 goals on the season. Ready to join the fray. Nico's second year with Birmingham. 2 years with Portland Timbers 2 years with Pittsburgh. He has scored goals wherever he has been in this league. Sebastian Guenzati and Solomon Asante, the other player, sitting on 8 goals. Our substitutions brought to us by Jiffy Lube. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, downtown Indianapolis. We're the official hotel partner of the Indy 11. Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, experience comfort in downtown Indianapolis. And not the distribution Eric Dick was looking for. Rushed him when he didn't need to.
And you look at that substitution by Tommy Sonov putting Nico Brett on the field at this point. You know, Indy's had a little bit of a good run here, some close missed opportunities. And it has felt like there's a goal for 11 out here. And is he the one that's going to be able to get the game winner, or is he going to be able to draw enough attention that Indy's going to have to hold some numbers back?
Restart by Eric Dick didn't find the intended target. And now Dean with a good run going. Dean all the way through. Plays it across, and if Ouimet doesn't touch it, that's 2-0. And Lopez, a curler that goes up and over the bar.
Also, you know, set up by Dean. He picks off the ball from Eric Dick and just advances it 30 yards, is able to keep it in, and a great ball served across the middle.
Tremendous run by Dean.
Look at that pace. Look at that pace in the 75th minute.
Nico Brett should be a little bit offside. There it is. Mentor Insurance is a proud partner of the Indy 11. Mentor Insurance. Everybody needs a mentor. Segrist. Good spot of Gordon Wild. Hamilton to his left. Arteaga to his right. And one touch too many and a bit strong. And now Nick Moon again got there first. Another great tackle won by Moon.
He's got maybe one good run left in him, and let's hope that wasn't it.
Wild finds Law. Law, back post. Arteaga. Shanked clearance by Cronolli. Goes directly to Max Rogers.
Boy, the 11 can feel it. It's there. They can feel it. You just got to have somebody on the other end to connect it.
Segrist sends it in. Hamilton one touch. Hamilton left foot, doesn't get through. Kavita got in the way. Win though by Timmer. Wild. Law. Hamilton.
Brilliant buildup. Brilliant buildup.
Couple of players relacing as we speak. Kavita for Birmingham. Hamilton was doing the same for Indy. Iose. Somehow kept that in play. Hamilton!
There you go.
Finally finds the back of the net. It's time for the smoke to rise out of the BYB. Hamilton's 5th goal of the year, and we're all tied up in minute 78.
You felt it was there. You felt it was there. They just kept knocking on the door. Great serve by Iose, and unbelievable. Hamilton is backpedaling to be able to get enough on that ball to get into the back of the net is impressive.
So Jordan Hamilton, it's his second goal of the month, his team high 5th goal. And again, I don't think either side is going to settle for a point at this juncture. Again, the point probably is better for Birmingham than it is for Indy, but both teams still feel there is a goal in the offing in the final 15 minutes.
Yeah, if you're Match Rogers, you want to see your team play with that same level of aggression and creativity going forward.
Williams, left foot takes a turn, and that'll be a corner. So the possession has favored Indy. The dangerous chances probably have been more directed towards Birmingham, and with that, that's why we say this game is far from settled at 1 goal apiece in the 79th minute.
Indy's got to stay locked in and focused here. They've had this knack for giving up a goal within 5 minutes of scoring. Can't happen here.
Lopez will steer it in. Ball goes right to Manuel Arteaga. James looking back post. Timmer got there first. Williams, Eric
Great
Dick
save.
up for the challenge. Womack the toe poke to steer it away.
What a save. That was so well struck.
This is the first year that Indy has used 3 different, I was going to say, that might be not the proper restart there for the 11. Great if it can work, but they're going to call this one back. To finish the thought, it's the first time in any Indy 11 season that there have been 3 different goalkeepers used. Jordan Farr, Bobby Edwards, Eric Dick. All 3 of the guys have been really, really good. Talked about some bounces that have gone against the Indy 11 at times this year. There's finally one that went in their direction. Great find by Wild. Moon now will lead the charge. Moon's shot goes directly into the backside of James. He still has 3 substitutions they can use. From an attacking standpoint, Usl, the most likely that would be a difference maker.
Yeah, and you get into this mindset as a coach. You're like, okay, I know Nick Moon is tired, but he's so dangerous. I got to keep him on the field.
Corner coming. And frankly, Nick Moon at 75 or 80% is still better than most. That's how well he has played so far this year.
Boy, I tell them the momentum has swung.
It'll be Wild that will steer it in. Met the target. Throw in coming here for Birmingham in the 81st minute. These 2 teams in their brief history have never played to a draw. Each side won their home match when they played in the Legion's inaugural season of 2019. They did not see each other a year ago. And a draw would temporarily move Indy into a tie for 4th with OKC Energy. Knowing the Energy are playing again later tonight. Eli Cronolli. This is Dean. Van Kaziel, and Wild picks his pocket, and then Wild is, that was a very smart tactical foul by the veteran that represents French Guiana for his international play. Get great deals and catch all the exciting action from an exclusive vantage point on the all-new Heineken deck located at the northwest corner of Carroll Stadium. Tickets for the Heineken deck are just $15. You get $3 Heineken brands all game long. Limited number of tickets available for each game, so get yours by visiting the tickets section of Indy11.com. Call 317-685-1100 or in person at the Carroll Stadium box office on game day. Good read by Siegrist. Opportunity here. Everybody on side for Indy. Arteaga just a bit too strong by Iose.
That is so rare for Iose to put the wrong pace on that ball. He knows it. He knows he had him. I tell you, the fatigue has opened this game up a bit. This last 10 minutes is going to be back and forth.
When you're on the road and can't watch the match, turn into Sirius XM FC. North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. USL All Access Tuesdays at 7, featuring Mike Watson, Devin Kerr. You get the best matches from not just the USL Championship, but across Major League Soccer, the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, and more. Sirius XM FC, channel 157, and on the Sirius XM app. Was listening to Atlanta and Columbus with Mike Conti on the call on the way down today. Iose, the back foot. Hamilton, left side.
Wow.
Spangenberg's diving effort. But the offside flag went up when Iose attempted to play the ball.
Great ball movement. Timmer finds Siegrist out on the outside with a perfectly driven ball. Siegrist drives a great ball into Hamilton. Hamilton's got Spangenberg beat. He comes up with an unbelievable save to the lower right corner.
If Hamilton was able to score, that would have counted. Because when Iose played it here, he was in an offside position. So both netminders have made an outstanding save since this game went to 1-1. Cronolli directs it right back at Arteaga. Arteaga thought he was going to give it a go. Instead, he'll try to play it to Hamilton. He will track it down, but a bit of a reset here. Nicky Law, a quick glance to size his options. The overlapping run from Nick Moon. Gordon Wild could give it a go from that left foot from here. Instead, tried to play it to Siegrist. And Arteaga. To Arteaga's credit, he tried to stay up. He might have been better served had he gone to the turf. And we met on an island. Defended that one beautifully.
It's one of the luxuries of playing here is that we knew that ball was going to hold up for him.
Peter Lee Vassell will check in at the next opportunity for the Indy 11. Now Iose. Hamilton a bit strong. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time. Presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. All sent in looking for Brett. Never got to him. E.J. Cochran got in the way, and Eric Dick quickly over to pounce on it. His distribution spot on this time to Nick Moon. But not one but two players down in terms of Hamilton and Iose, and it's Io that says, I've had enough of tonight's opportunity. So Io, a little ginger as he walks off the field. Vassell replaces him. And Vassell played a part in Nick Moon's beautiful goal last week.
Oh, that was the overlapping run, and you've seen it a couple times here. The creativity and the interplay up in the attacking third from Indy 11 is impressive, and it was that run that held a Memphis defender and allowed Nick Moon to create the opportunity for himself.
And Nico Brett was not going to take a shot on goal there. That was a restart to allow Indy to make the injury substitution. Williams able to carve out some space against Moon. Arteaga can't chase that. He was offside. Usl was onside. So the ball went right to him. It's play on. Wild.
Whoa.
Usl just could not control the touch.
What a clever thought. He just scooped it and lifted it up over the back line.
Play it to the freshest set of legs you got on the field. Let Peter Lee go chase it. Young man from Jamaica. Spent some time with LAFC before joining the Indy 11. Just could not get a touch to it. Wild's cross deflected, but goes right to an Indy 11 teammate in Usl. Great tackle by Timmer.
Getting a couple of careless turnovers from both teams on some fatigued legs.
It's first match for Birmingham in 14 days. However, they're playing a bit depleted tonight in terms of not having some key pieces. So there's some guys that are being asked to go 90 that maybe would not normally be in that same predicament. Here's Wild, the cross, Kavita.
Yeah, and that's got to be an instant green light for Gordon Wild. James, who's got 88 minutes on his legs, has no cover in behind him. Gordon Wild is fresher. Take him on.
Moon. Segrist will settle in. Good recovery by Arteaga to maintain possession. Now Usl. Rather remarkable long spell of possession for Usl. Looking
Look
back
out.
post. Wild couldn't time it out. And James will knock it sideways. And we'll start to direct our attention towards the fourth official in terms of exactly how much time is going to be left in this match. Wild. Cronolli. Now Timmer. Another throw-in coming here.
Indy needs a heroic goal here.
Timmer wins yet another aerial duel. Arteaga the pressure. Hamilton trying to pick it up from Asiadu, who plays it sideways, and Usl couldn't do anything with it. 3 minutes left to go. 3 minutes of added time.
Trouble.
Here's the opportunity. Van Kaziel for Williams. Brett heads towards the back post. Williams trying to split two defenders. Now James will take a blast that ricochets off of A.J. Cochran. Cochran seems no worse for the wear. Adrenaline taking over for A.J.
Good serve.
Brett couldn't settle. Dean, Brett doesn't get it through. Timmer, left foot scoring. Birmingham finds the go-ahead goal in the 91st minute, and it's Dean, his first of the year. Again, the chances not as great for Birmingham in the last 30 minutes, but they find the only one they needed. And now the question for Indy is, can they find one more goal to get a point in 120 seconds or so that is left in this match?
Heartbreaking. Ball just keeps bouncing around the box. It's got to be cleared. What a strike, though. What a strike. He's been up and down the field all day, and he's still got enough presence to strike a ball like that in the 90th minute.
Birmingham will try to sneak in one more sub just to give them some fresher legs here towards the end of the match. Quickly back to action. It's Jake Roof. Hopes to enter the match if given the opportunity. The attack will continue for Indy. Moon's ball couldn't find Gordon Wild. Cronolli does just enough to throw off Moon. Restart quick for Indy. Knowing time is of the essence. Wild, blocked by Williams.
Good win.
Dying seconds of this one.
When Indy's got everybody at the 18.
Timmer to Arteaga. I hope Usl would make the corresponding run. He did not.
Just drop it over that back line.
Cochran got up there. Ouimet tried to carve out some space. Tries to steer it back in.
Could it be?
Usl. Now Arteaga. Arteaga goes to the turf, not going to get the call there. And that's it. That's the match.
Heartbreaking for Indy. Heartbreaking.
A 91st minute goal. And the goals scored tonight by the Birmingham Legion by first-time goal scorers this season. Prosper Kasim got the opening tally. Dean gets the winner in the 91st minute. And for a second time this month, the Birmingham Legion will pull all 3 points from their visit to Indianapolis, and they inch within 2 of Lou City, atop of the Central Division. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with final thoughts for our game broadcast and get you ready for the Honda postgame show presented by Bet Rivers. Legion win this one 2-1 on Wish TV and ESPN+. 2-1, Birmingham Legion beat the Indy 11 tonight. A goal in the 91st minute gets the job done for the Birmingham Legion. Our final score presented by Sherwin-Williams. More than 25 locations across Indianapolis. Your neighborhood paint store is always there to provide you the perfect finish. Yeah, there was a perfect finish tonight. It just wasn't for the home team. credit the Legion. They go out and find the game winner to go home with all 3 points this season.
Yeah, and he said it, and credit to the Legion. And both teams had chances. Some great saves by both goalkeepers, some great stops defensively by both back lines. And then Birmingham, when they needed it, in the 90th minute.
The better opportunities in the first half belonged to Birmingham. The better opportunities in the second half belonged to Indy. Yet it was just 2 opportunities, all that Birmingham needed. The goal by Prosper Kasim in the 53rd minute, the goal by Dean in the 91st. We had hoped this would kind of be a season-altering moment for the Indy 11. Instead, maybe it was for the visitors from Birmingham.
Yeah, and they needed it too. They want to get back to the top of the table. They got 2 games in hand on Louisville. They pick up 3 points. Now they've got a shot at the top of the table.
The Indy 11 will sit on this one for 10 days as they will play at FC Tulsa next on August the 4th. Stay tuned. The Honda postgame show presented by Bet Rivers comes your way next here on Wish TV.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.